day for our man Andrew Wiggins.
How do you make it so that the video plays? Oh, there we go. Learn something new right on the spot. Did that work? When this is over, is it just going to go to us? I'm learning all this on the fly. Can you hear me, bud?
Yeah, what's up, big dog?
Can you see me, bud?
Yeah, you look crystal clear. That's Sonic. Woo! We need to get a new sponsor. Sonic.
I'm paying for 17 different internet connections.
I'm paying for 2 internets, bro. Don't call it 17.
Well, two might as well be 17 when you're broke. Anyways, this was going to be... Okay, first of all, welcome to Heat Check underneath the Hum Daddy's umbrella. Hum Daddy Jacob Lucas apparently is doing daddy duty tonight, so it's just Artavan Daveron. That's an anagram in case you were wondering. And I'm Zakariah. So we're gonna bring the heat. We're gonna have to bring the heat, and we're gonna have to make up a little bit for one spot. What shirt were you just showing off very confidently over there?
Just a big day for our guy, everybody's favorite warrior, Mr. Andrew Wiggins.
What are we looking at? Oh.
Signed his deal to stay in Miami. Try to fight for a championship with Giannis.
Okay,
big day for Mr. Andrew Wiggins.
How is that a big day for Warriors fans?
We love Andrew.
Okay, so are the Heat your East team?
Not at all. Don't like the Heat one bit.
Okay, but you're happy for your boy Wiggins.
Always love Andrew Wiggins.
Who's he dunking on there, Luka?
What you mean? Come on, that's the most famous play of the whole playoffs, baby.
Oh,
get out of here, Luka.
Come on, the most famous play in the NBA.
Damn near, other than Steph's glory against Boston.
What about B. Diddy with We Believe? Well, they didn't win the title.
No, I'm talking about that run.
Oh,
I'm saying that's a very well-known image. Obviously, Curry and what he did in Boston, way more so. But come on, man, that was the beginning of the glory, baby. Starting to let everybody know, we might do this. He was the. We don't got to go there, but I can't wait for the NBA. And that man, Andrew Wiggins, was the impetus of that whole thing. Anybody who wants to speak bad on Andrew Wiggins' name, they weren't watching the NBA. They weren't watching the Warriors. You've got that run. Steph kept it going.
You've got so many boys. One day, like if it's really slow in sports, we should just go back and forth with who our boys are in sports. Your list would be so much longer than mine. Speaking of your boys, Jonathan Kuminga, the Hawks said, hey, You provided a big-time spark for us, but we're turning down that $27 million.
Why the hell would anyone pay Jonathan Kuminga $27 million? Hasn't proved a goddamn thing.
I would think that you would pay him like 52 the way that you talk about him.
No, that's just because you guys overinterpret it, man. The guy is who he is, man. He's a freak athlete. He's good at basketball. He got integrated poorly into the Warriors. And no, he ain't worth $25 million. You shitting me? Just like Porzingis ain't worth $20 million.
Wow. Okay, that's a hot take. All right, we're going to get into all of that. This was going to go
hot take.
This was going to be the best intro in the history of the show, and because my Dutch were winning 1-0,
don't you worry.
Hitting the 90-minute mark and then going into injury time, and they gave up an unbelievable header to Morocco, who I kind of like. I wish they weren't playing Morocco because I kind of like that. I've actually seen a couple of their matches. Anyways, they give it up. It's tied now. I guarantee you it's going to go to a shootout, and I'm just going to be sitting here miserable the whole time when if they had just won 1-0, we could have had a great show, and we could have focused on what we're going to focus on. We're not going to talk World Cup right now. We're going to lead with this is what's been dominating the headlines. Everybody's reporting. Well, the big news was Draymond Green opted out of his contract. I actually heard from somebody, it wasn't Shams, some NBA insider that said that Draymond might have done that regardless of what the Warriors do, because had he opted in, he would be a pending free agent, which means he would be an expiring contract, which would have possibly led to him getting traded. So he almost would have done it regardless. But everybody ran with it, and Yahoo Sports, which is obviously as credible as Yahoo Sports can be, but it's not like no what was that? Crackball sport. What was the
Yahoo
thing?
Sports is very credible. Yahoo Sports is
no, I know. I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make the joke of whatever you fell for.
Butt crack sports.
But
like
it wasn't
NBA
butt
Senzel.
crack. It wasn't butt crack.
Yeah, it was butt crack.
Not literally butt crack. I think it had a different name. Ball sack. Ball sack?
I think it was butt crack. Somebody on the chat line. What was it? That Twitter handle that was all over about 6 months ago. I think it was butt crack.
I think it was
something like that.
All right, put it on the poll. Was it ball sack?
Not even
or
on the
butt
poll.
crack?
I just want some help because it was ridiculous.
Anyways, so Yahoo Sports put out that this is potentially because the Warriors could be trying to get not only LeBron, but Anthony Davis as well, who, for all that hoopla that went on for the Luka trade with him going to Dallas, Dallas just ships him to the Wizards. And I don't even remember that trade really getting talked about. We're on a thread with our buddy Gabe, who said that they got a pretty good haul overall when you looked at it for Luka. But the point is, I guess, this was all over not only the Bay Area airwaves, but all over national sports talk airwaves. And I would like to ask you, since Jake isn't here, you're the resident Dubs fan. You guys both are. As we talk about all the time, you guys in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade used to do Warriors Roundtable. Even though nobody was funding you, you would just talk on an old rotary phone about Mookie Blaylock and co. So that first idea that you hear, so there's layers to this. I just want to start with that one. If I told you that LeBron and AD were going to the Dubs, are you pumped as a Dubs fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see how you can't be. I mean, it's just the layers that are worth talking about. I mean, I'm certainly pumped for a team that can contend. I think that team can contend. I also think that team immediately continues to have some issues, but potentially with good additions around them could be great. I don't think Porzingis fits that, so I think it's off the table. I don't think LeBron's coming to Golden State.
You think that nixed it?
I think so. I think that they.
Have you read that, or are you just guessing that?
Sort of guessing it. Read that they can't give LeBron the full $15 million mid-level anymore.
I saw that. Yeah, I know.
And I don't think it fits very well. Like, I don't know why you would rock Porzingis, AD, LeBron, and Draymond unless, which I think is fair to do, I guess, you're assuming like 2 of them are hurt most of the year. Like, yeah, if you want to go and assuming they're all just yeah, I mean, are we doing that? If we're assuming 2 of the 4 are hurt all year, then yeah, maybe you have all 4, but why would you have all 4 of them? Like, I don't know, I guess.
I don't really know what's going on, and I do think that the Porzingis thing confuses it even more. I thought originally, like, the layers to it that I was going to say was, what does this mean for Jimmy Butler, right? So are you then trading Jimmy Butler for AD? And in that instance, I would ask you, would you rather have LeBron and Jimmy or LeBron and AD? Porzingis coming back, I mean, he's not available all the time, and $20 million is not a ton. So I don't know how much that's going to mess with their cap, but like, what exactly is the plan here? Maybe
like
fools
LeBron, I mean, I guess you don't always play everybody, but like LeBron, AD, and Porzingis ain't playing together. Draymond's trying to play crunch time minutes. Those 4 aren't playing together. So now you got a lot of money in players that
Ow!
What happened? You score? You get scored on.
Unbelievable.
It's over?
No. But I mean, point blank, Morocco just choked. It was just him and the goalie. He crossed our defender. Oh my gosh, and it hit off the goalie's leg. What a save. God bless that guy. He's been under duress all game long. He hit it with his leg, and then if he hadn't hit it with his arm after his leg, it would have went in. So he made 2 saves in one. God bless that guy. Our goalie is a monster. Anyways, here's what I'll say. And I said the same thing ad nauseum after the draft was over with the Warriors draft pick, the 30-year-old out of Michigan. Everything is in win now mode. And the bottom line is they're not going to rebuild around Steph. So give me AD, give me LeBron. Let's try to keep Jimmy, bring back Porzingis, draft an old mother bleeper. I mean, the bottom line is, yeah, go ahead. No. All I'm saying is you guys don't have much of a choice. So maximize your chances within that win now mode. And I do think that they have a decent chance. They could be, honestly, Art, this is the type of stuff that you usually like. I know you like young and you like Latin flair and all that stuff, but you like when the old grizzled vets mess around and show the youngsters how it's done. I do think they'd have a decent chance in the West if you had all. I mean, I don't know how many of those pieces would all fit together and how it works with the salary cap, but absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Steph wants it.
I mean, on that team, if you could just, in some magical universe, make Pods be Dylan Harper or make Pods be Castle, then it worked.
Yeah.
I think you're still severely lacking athleticism. LeBron is no longer an above-average athlete in the NBA. He's just an average athlete in the NBA. Steph's below average. Draymond's below average. AD's below average. So now you're still going with
whoa. Hang on. Below average in terms of the NBA?
I'm saying below average athletically compared to your competition, everyone.
Okay, but not talent-wise.
No, but that's a problem. You can't be the least athletic team in the entire NBA and win it all. Porzingis, no athleticism. I mean, they got no foot speed still. You got a bunch of slow guys on the back end of their careers. That's why I'm saying it's all about
but really talented slow guys.
Yeah, but you better fill it up with some quick guys that are your 6th, 7th, and 8th men, or you got no chance. And it ain't Pods. Like, I saw that picture of Pods.
No, I know,
and we joked about it. I mean, come on. That lineup would be an absolute nightmare.
That, by the way, that ruined that picture. And I don't know who sent it today on the thread, but
I can't even tell who serious.
Well, it might have been Ian or Andrew, one of the Keogh brothers, but they said the first one, Pods wasn't in it. And then I was like, that looks dope. And then the second one had him in it, and I was like, that looks terrible. I mean, I hate to be like the anti-Pods pod, if you will, no pun intended. But yeah, I mean, that guy is not delivering really good shooting, really good ball handling, or any sort of like crazy athleticism. He would be like a guy, I would want him to be like the 9th or 10th guy on my favorite team. Not like
probably being higher than that. He just needs to be in a role where it ain't the role that he's been in, which he would be. I mean, frankly, he would be in a much more complimentary role on that team. I'm not sure if his ego could hold up well on that team. I think he thinks he's better than he is. He takes himself very seriously. I don't know how well he would actually manage himself on a roster with that much pedigree. I don't actually accept it. But overall, to me, the problem is you desperately need in the players you're rounding out your roster with elite shooting and elite defending, and where are you going to get it from? Like these guys that left OKC, these are the guys we needed to go get, right? Go get an Isaiah Joe who's going to shoot 43% and defend on the wing.
He went to Detroit, right?
I don't remember who went, but the other, I mean, you got to get some of these guys that are going to defend and then are going to hit threes, and they didn't do any of that in this scenario, and I don't see it happening. So I don't know. To me, it looks more like let's pretend we haven't heard these rumors. You're just bringing back the Warriors. Where the Warriors sit today, you're in absolute shambles. You're bringing back the same roster that came out last year.
Yeah, but why? I mean, don't you think something's going to happen, or do you think LeBron and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports? You think they're all using them for leverage? I'm expecting something major to happen. I don't think it's just going to be Porzingis waiting on.
You think they're going to get one of them for sure, or both?
I do. Yeah.
I hope.
I mean, and I've always said this, and you guys always roll your eyes, and you're right too, but I'm just going off what I've seen. If they do run back a healthy Steph, a healthy Porzingis, a healthy Draymond, Pods I'm not as big on. I would be fine with a side and trade for Pods or whatever. But even if they do that and then they wait on Butler to get back, I think they can tread water, and I would like to see what they do. But I think it makes it a totally different story, which is why I was surprised that I didn't see Dub Nation be way more excited about this. If you all of a sudden tell me that LeBron is with Steph and Draymond, even if AD doesn't come and they're waiting on Jimmy Butler to come back, because here's the thing. Yes, they are not very athletic. I agree with you, Art, and that's aggravating as hell. And nothing that you said, I don't know if it was 2 years or last year, but nothing that you said more resonated more with me when you were like, we have no guys that can dribble, nobody that's athletic, and not that many people that can shoot, especially without Steph. So I'm with you on that. Here's my thing, though. I don't think you have to be terribly athletic. I don't think you have to be that great at shooting. And I think that if you have 4 guys, even if they're, Draymond's not really injury prone. He does some load management. But Porzingis goes out with weird illnesses. Steph's not always healthy. AD's been hella injury prone. And LeBron has been very, for his age, I think he played over 60 games last year. He hasn't been really injury prone at all. And I think when you have that many, Art, then I think you just need 2. We talked about this on the phone. I think you only need 2 of the 5 or 2 of the 4 or whatever. Now, you're right. If it's Draymond and AD that are out there, I don't know exactly how that's going to work when you don't have ball handlers. All I'm saying is I think you'd have enough to tread water. And then if you ramp up for the postseason and everybody plays, I'd love to see what they could do.
Well, and I don't even mind Draymond or LeBron. Like the big 3 of LeBron, Steph, and AD is pretty sick. Like I have no problem watching that. I would, so if we take a step back and really just go back to what you first asked, I would absolutely love LeBron James to become a Golden State Warrior. I'm probably first in line. Sign me up. Okay. Let's make that happen because no matter what, I'm going to have fun.
Next step,
I don't dislike the idea of AD being a Warrior
or Jimmy. If you had to pick between AD and Jimmy, what would you pick?
Neither. That's the problem. Give me
what
neither.
Do you mean?
I don't want either of them.
What do you mean? You just said that you would like AD as a Warrior.
I said I'll take it. I don't like it. The guy will not finish the season. There's no reason to believe he's going to play a full NBA season.
He finished when they won it all during COVID, 2020.
Season wasn't a real
6 years ago.
He was in a bubble and he played like 15 games with nobody trying that hard probably. Anyway, the Lakers and Dodgers hella pumped off those championships are hilarious. Anyway, again, remember those people in the audience, the fake audience? And then I think they started bringing
that was hilarious. Audience. Oh yeah, no, you could pay to have your feed of Zoom or whatever of you watching it, and then they would put it in the seat. Those were crazy times, bro. We lived through a crazy pandemic.
Yeah, we definitely did.
I remember those fans. I was like, what the hell is that? And then I read online, you paid more for a better seat. So if you were 2 rows deep, your Zoom price was $150 for a ticket. And I don't even know why you'd get one in the bleachers. I mean, I guess maybe they'd cut to it later. I don't really remember the coverage. I probably should have paid more attention to it. But anyways, go ahead. I hear what you're saying. And that was also 6 years ago. And he hasn't been healthy since.
Yeah.
So
that's the version I don't like it. I just say I pray they could put together a roster that makes sense in today's NBA. I think there's a world in which they could, and I think it doesn't need to be with AD. I think if you've already committed to Porzingis, I would go. I mean, and this you can laugh me out the building now because this guy is often injured as well. So this is a silly comment, but he's the type of player I might go get. Go get me Mitch Robinson from the Knicks. Or maybe go get me Andre Drummond from the Sixers. Go get me a big that's going to go beast down low.
Andre's so old, but yeah.
He's also the most underrated player in the history of NBA. I don't even understand Andre Drummond's career. Every time he plays 30
12
minutes.
12 and 16.
2020. Not even 12 and 16. The guy's a guaranteed 20 points and 20 boards if you give the guy 30 minutes. But the guy plays 30 minutes 6 times a year. I mean,
well, he's a little old now.
I know, but he's still. Anyway, I don't even know the right.
I feel like he was underrated in his prime. Yeah, I feel
But fill it out with a proper big. The thing is, they already went Porzingis. That's what I feel like. There's a hard dark cloud where now you got Porzingis taking. I feel like the Warriors continue to create a puzzle that's hard to fix because you're all right, are you locked into Pods for 30 minutes? Sounds like yes. Are you locked into Draymond for 30 minutes? Sounds like yes. Are you locked into Porzingis for 30 minutes? Sounds like yes.
I'm with
all of a sudden you're locked into all these guys for 30 minutes, and now you're a little bit the roster's a little bit hard to fill. So that's my problem. But the idea of just a blank slate, Steph Curry, LeBron James, I fucking love. You go give me the OGs. Everybody wants to hate on LeBron, whatever, man. That's a great show. Even if it is a sideshow and it ain't the best direction for the Warriors, it don't matter. It'll be hella fun to watch them night in, night out. Both of them are, what up, John? Both of them are, and yeah, what up, Rags? What up, Danny? And Danny did come back and tell us we used to say butt crack sports. So maybe it was butt crack. We could have been joking, he said. He said he always thought it was a joke, but I think it really was butt crack sports on Twitter. But yeah, man, I would be pumped as hell, but I don't know, man. I don't trust Dunleavy. I don't trust Lacob. I don't think this team knows what they're doing. But, they did get the kid out of Michigan. You already know you're getting an athlete. And I don't know if you got any of his clips, but every time I hear him talk, I fall more in love with him. He knows what his role on this team should be. He said how he thinks he wants to be a secondary ball handler, and then he kind of almost caught himself and said, especially when Steph's out and when Steph's in and he's playing alongside Steph, he wants to focus on being a 3-and-D guy. So he absolutely knows what the Warriors needs. He's 24. He's an athletic. I mean, I don't know about an athletic freak, but he's an absolute athlete, and he plays the game in the way today's NBA goes. So go get me another version of that on the wire. Go get me one other guy that's going to be as athletic as these other teams to take a little bit of pressure off of a Draymond, because it's too hard for Draymond to go that hard every night, because he can keep up with those athletes when he has to, because he just puts it on. He's Draymond, and he's going to get it together for a game or two. But you can't expect Draymond to keep up with these young kids for 80 games anymore. Like, he can't. He has once every 3 games where he looks bad because he's not quick enough. He's not fast enough, and they actually are that much better athletes. So get a few more athletes, get a few more shooters, and I'm in. Porzingis, I guess the version of that working is he can shoot. He is big. So I think him and AD feel a little redundant. AD's better than Porzingis. Both of them aren't going to play that often. So that's my worry. Like, I don't love the crowded version of those 4 front court that we talked about. And I don't know that I trust Dunleavy and Lacob, but if you just go clean slate, first comment, love the idea of Braun.
Okay. And no hope for Post or Santos, anything that you saw over the past.
I think that's another problem. Like, doesn't fit any of what we said. Like, imagine Guy playing with those guys. That's a pathetic. I mean, I hate that you even brought him up, because to me, that's like a perfect example of it not fitting. Where can you find minutes for Guy Santos if you're also playing the 4 guys we just said, right? Like,
but that's why I asked you, because from what I heard, and I don't know, it's funny. I hope it'll probably never come out, but if LeBron ever really told a tell-all book where he actually told everything that went on behind all the scenes, he'll never do it. He's way too private. I would love to know, because first part of me says, no way the Lakers, and I believe Janine Buss was still own the Lakers when they made that deal. I think so. I know she doesn't now for the most part. The Buss family doesn't. But anyways, my first instinct says no way the Lakers make a move where they trade his boy AD for Luka, right? That's my first instinct. But my second instinct is, well, maybe they thought LeBron's older and they're going to give the keys to Luka, so maybe they didn't run it by him. I guess what I'm trying to say is I would love to know whether or not they consulted LeBron before they made that deal, AD for Luka. I would love to know that. Yeah. Now, let's say in this instance, they didn't run it by him. And so, because I know he's already felt like he's been irritated with the Lakers brass over the past year or whatever. So let's say they didn't run it by him, and so let's say he does want to leave. Then I could see that he would want AD. But my first initial reaction when I heard this was like, get LeBron, but don't trade Jimmy Butler for Anthony Davis, because I just have no confidence that Anthony Davis is ever going to make it through a full season. I can't even see him doing like a 65-game season. You know what I mean? So I'm more intrigued with Braun coming, Porzingis coming back, Draymond coming back, and then Jimmy coming back, because like you said, it seems like you're more concerned with the backcourt than the front court. The problem is Jimmy Butler's not even that very athletic at this point. I mean, they're all just hella old.
Coming into does Jimmy Butler have one more year after this year on his contract, or is this his last year?
This is his last year, so he'd be an expiring deal.
Well, that's the good news. So that puts you in a good position, right? Because you could trade Butler for probably
something at the deadline because it's an expiring deal.
Yeah, and he's going to go, and you might even get to do it to like I don't know. You might have a lot of suitors. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Maybe Phoenix and get Devin Booker.
There you go. I like Devin Booker, man. He's an interesting case in
NBA lore.
Well, he was just because he was such a gamer on the USA team, and he upped his perception. I mean, I fucking kind of fell in love with the dude. He seemed like a very integral piece to that team. So trusted by Kerr, played more than most players, and really played well, and never stepped out of line. Knew
And
his role
defensively too. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And now he's kind of back in the NBA, not giving a fuck. And I kind of, but I think we've talked about.
No, he cares, bro. He was up 2-0 on the Bucks in the finals. That whole thing, everything to blame about that was DeAndre Ayton and Giannis wanting to get his first title. Giannis just shat on DeAndre Ayton 4 straight games.
In the lab all day. I'm not convinced he's working on his game as hard as the best. He strikes me more as like a Vince Carter, T-Mac, sort of happy to be a superstar, don't need to work as hard as Kobe's going to try. Those are bad examples. I don't know enough about. I said that sort of with my own bullshit that I made up in my head when I was a kid. I used to say, I used to have a hard time with people talking shit about some of these guys who that were questioned on their work ethic, because I was just like, well, I mean, I could easily see that life path. It's like you can either be a psycho and waste not waste, but spend your entire life
have less fun,
be Kobe, or you can just go kick it, have hella fun, also work hella hard, but not psychotically, and just be Vince Carter, and that seems like a good life.
Hella money, yeah.
So, and clearly Vince Carter proved the world that he actually is more of a basketball sort of lifer just by playing till he was 40, 41, 42, however the hell long. And what up, Dom? Thanks for joining. But yeah, I don't know what I don't love is watching that stupid image with pods in it. I don't know if we talked about that live or we talked about that before the show.
No, we just did. I said that one of the Keogh brothers sent them, and the first one looked hella dope, and then they sent the second one with pods in it, and I was like, now it doesn't look like a good idea.
Yeah. So let's hope we can figure out who the fifth man is, and maybe that's my boy Laxel.
Well, here's the thing. Pods, oh man, do you have the what's that thing called? Spro check or something for
what are we looking at? What do we need to look up?
Just NBA roster salary cap.
Definitely don't know that.
Because Jake made me laugh talking about Pods' there it is. It's called Spo Track, SPOTRAC.
Pods is a complete joke. The Warriors are not paying Pods early.
No, I know, but well, it's been floated out there because normally, like if he was a superstar, you would be paying him right now.
Yeah, but that's still...
Oh yeah, he's only on the books for 5.5.
Yeah, he's fine when he's on the book. And Guy Santos,
Jimmy's at 56.
Yeah, what's Guy Santos? I mean, Jimmy and AD are two of the worst contracts in the NBA. What's
your shit's crazy. Steph is 62, Jimmy's 56, Moses is 12.5 that you're not going to see probably the whole year. Pods is 5.6, Guy is 4.6, Will Richards 2.1, and then LJ Cryer and Malvy Lennon's
like a guy like Will Richard, a guy like LJ Cryer, they could change the whole season. Right? Like if those guys can actually ascend and be better and really be usable pieces, people like Will Richards said he played so great. Yeah. Come on, man. He was okay, but he didn't look like he could really do enough that you needed. We always fall in love with these Warriors for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, but they all end up burning out. And he burnt out like many Warriors have. And so he's got a big season ahead of him. Richard, he's got to show up and show that he can actually do this. He got worse every month. He was a bad player the second half of the year. And he's got an opportunity. So some of these guys,
you're still paying Andre Iguodala and Andrew Bogut.
What do you mean? What, like $1 million or something?
Yeah, 2 points. It's kind of like the Bobby Bonilla thing. 2.5 for Bogut until 2029, 2030. That was probably just part of manipulating the cap or whatever.
What they do instead of probably giving him equity too. Steph, you've heard him talk recently about how he thinks that's a big thing that needs to happen in the NBA, and he said he kind of knows people don't really probably want to hear him and other players that wealthy talk about that, but that needs to be something that can be a part of it. And so maybe that's one way to, create that, when you're like, nah, we ain't going to do stuff like that, but we'll keep paying you for a while. We know you did some things for this team, or exactly.
Okay. So Art, you as a fan, not you as Dunleavy, not you as Lake Up, just you, Art, as the Warriors fan, of all the pieces that we talked about, what would be what you would want ideally?
Man. What would I want ideally? I can't even say it because that's why I came in so lukewarm. I don't have the plan. All I can tell you is that team ain't gonna do it. All these names are basically some of the worst names you could possibly ask me to.
You realize they'd be featured on every primetime game. They'd be talked about constantly. If they had Steph, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Draymond Green,
man, these guys are has-beens.
LeBron's not a has-been. He was very efficient last year.
These guys by, man.
Anthony Davis in the few games that he played for Dallas was dominant. He could still be dominant. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green, you're cooking with gas.
Porzingis is in the tenderloin. AD's at fucking Kaiser or John Muir getting a surgery, and LeBron James is going to be fucking in a retirement home. That's the team.
LeBron's fine, bro.
I love LeBron. I told you, I'm thrilled.
I know. That's the one that you like the most.
I mean, he might as well put on like Larry Johnson's grandmama and play for him. You know, this guy's a senior citizen, man.
All right. Fair enough. Well, if you don't have, I mean, look, there's nothing else you can really do. I mean, unless you're planning on like trading Jimmy Butler, who's not going to play half the year, for some younger pieces that you want so bad, these athletic youngsters that you think just fall from the sky or whatever. I mean, we both agree that Pods is not the answer. And you certainly cannot have Pods as the young guy around all those older guys. And I don't know how much of Dub Nation agrees with that. I think there's probably some people that are pretty big on Pods. But I have never walked away from a game that Pods was in, even when he plays well, where I've said, man, that's the young, athletic, like high percentage shooting youngster that the Warriors need as they are trying to carry on the rest of the Curry years. So I'm with you on that. Maybe you can get something from Pods. Maybe there's a GM out there that's higher on Pods than but I think the problem is Steve Kerr is the biggest one on Pods.
Yeah.
Which means he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that'll be pretty interesting to see if Pods does end up staying as a Golden State Warrior. I think if the franchise is smart, they'll know that.
I like him at $5 million, Art.
Yeah, he's fine at $5 million. I could just tell you. You want me to speak the future? I could just tell you the future pretty easily. If Pods is on the team in 5 years, the Warriors will have been losing for about 5 years. And I don't even mean this to hate on Pods. That means they're paying him you're paying him what? 15, 20 million like he's good. You're playing him 35. There's a small, tight percent that he could somehow amaze, surprise, become a.
You realize how little. You realize how. Sorry. You realize. No, go back to your Ginobili point. I just wanted to really quickly interject and make you realize how little 15 to 20 million is in the NBA now. Like I was going to say the same thing when you said that about bringing Porzingis back. That's dirt cheap. That's like damn near the vet minimum now.
Not if everybody's getting it though. Like then your team's struggling. But yeah, I guess I hear you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. So when I look at it, I just see these names that you're throwing around, and I'm seeing assured mediocrity, injury, more of the same, more of the sadness, a couple peaks that we're happy about. A couple times we get excited and think the Warriors could do something. Then Curry retires, and then we're absolute dog shit. And in my heart of hearts, I believe the Warriors are going to go absolutely back into the abyss. I think the Warriors are going to be one of the worst franchises in the NBA. And I think we're in for a very rough 15, 20 years as Golden State Warriors. I don't believe – I think Lacob is proving, and we talked about a little on the last show, that he is way too much Jerry Jones blood in him. Way too involved. I don't trust Dunleavy to set us up. And I don't think there's any reason to believe that the Warriors can do this. And the more you think about the Warriors' years, and probably everybody knows this and it's obvious, but this has just all been about Steph Curry, man. They made some lucky, great picks around him. Not lucky. They made some great picks around him.
Great picks around him.
They put together a quarter work. They hit on veterans that they needed. You know, they were putting the puzzle together right for a few years, but ultimately this all came down to Steph Curry changing the franchise. And now we're watching that candle slowly dim, and we're not watching anything that makes sense. We're not watching a revival.
So you don't think so? If I told you that going into next year, your starting five is Anthony Davis at the 5, Draymond Green at the 4, The rookie at the 3. No, LeBron at the 3. So I guess the rookie would be coming off the bench. God, who would play the 2? No Moody. I guess that would be Pods. And Steph at the 1.
Hate it.
You don't think that team can contend?
It's bottom 10 teams in the NBA. I think that roster.
Wow. I disagree. I think Steph and LeBron alone put you out of the play-in.
They might, but the rest of that doesn't work, man. Who's shooting?
Steph, Pods.
You're doubling
LeBron.
Steph. I mean, I guess you're playing
Steph,
through AD.
Pods, LeBron.
AD. It's AD. Really.
AD's got a mid-range game.
Yeah, I just hate that you don't have a 3-point. Today's NBA is 3-point shooting. We still don't have a 3-point shooter. So anyway, that's why I say fill out that roster. I think that team could potentially work if the rest of the team is young, athletic, can shoot and defend. If there's 3 more players that you get from the street, from another team, I don't know where the hell they're coming from. But if you come and get them and they can defend and they can score and they can do some more than these guys, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, like they talk about Sexton. They've been talking about who are the names they've been throwing out there. But there's a few, but even them, they're probably too expensive. I don't know. That's what I don't understand. Are the Warriors going to keep signing guys for $20 million? I don't get it. Who are these guys? Where are they going to come from? We don't have. Anyway, we'll see. I don't think we're going to get LeBron anymore, though. I got a bad feeling. I think this Porzingis thing might have effed it all up.
Have you seen any reporting since the Porzingis trade? Because I'm sure they wouldn't have done all this. What other reason would Draymond have opted out? I'm not sure about that. Hang on real quick because my light went out. So you just go ahead and keep rambling about the Dubs for a minute. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Be back in 2 seconds, man. I'm done rambling about the Dubs. We need to start talking about these other teams, man. So we got where we're at with the Warriors. The Warriors are in a rough spot. They are. I think everybody on the chat line, anybody out there who disagrees, let me know. I think nobody's excited about the direction of the Warriors. Nobody believes the Warriors have made any sort of moves that make it seem like they're going to be able to contend next year or are heading in the right direction. If not, let's see it on the chat. Let us know if you're happy. I do like the draft pick. But I think we should start talking about the rest of the NBA. I think we need to start kicking around John Morant to Portland. I think we need to start.
Go ahead.
You might need to remind me of all these moves. I don't remember everything we saw because I'm blanking right now. But we got Jada.
We're done with the
We got Wiggins re-signed to the Heat. We got what happened? Well, a lot happened, man. There's more than that.
Well, yeah. We touched on Porzingis. Sources say that the Warriors are eyeing LeBron AD reunion. This is all on the top page of NBA. Kuminga, Hawks declined their option. Shamit, which I think it was a decent deal for both teams, but he went back to the Knicks, back to the champion Knicks. Go! Shit. Sorry. Champagne signed a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Spurs. And then there's a lot of Kawhi stuff floating out there that he might either go to. I saw, what did I see? He could be going back to Toronto, which would not make a ton of sense.
And give the Boston Celtics freaking Porzingis, Jimmy Butler, and Pods, and go give me Jaylen Brown. Go give him 3 first-rounders. Go give me Jaylen Brown, and I'll go run with that squad. Go give me Steph, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Draymond Green, and Porzingis with Guy Santos off the bench, Pods off the bench, and 2 more raw young bench players. I'll fuck with that team.
You good with that? Okay. All right.
My point is we need somebody else that I trust. I guess what it comes down to, I don't trust that group. So what are they doing in Portland, man? They got 4 point guards. They got Drew Holiday. They got Dame Lillard. They got John Morant. They got Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got They got Denny. They got the big that was killing it, Klingon last year. It's funny because their roster is raw. They got Kumara. They got Tumani, right? That they got also, but all of a sudden their backcourt doesn't make any sense. I wonder if they're not sitting on a move.
So many guards.
Shaden Sharp.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if they're not sitting on a move.
John Morant, Caleb Love, Damian Lillard, Jason Kent. They still have
how tall is Scoot Henderson?
They still have Holiday, Scoot Henderson. Yeah, their whole team is the backcourt.
Is he short?
Scoot's 6'3". I mean,
yeah, he's short.
A little, just barely taller than Steph.
Yeah. Because he's like, in theory, somebody the Warriors could use, like another ball handler, point guard. He's getting better. He's ascending a little bit.
I'll tell you this. I would love if I was a team, and I don't know what they're going to end up doing. Probably
all those trades. That's the ones we didn't talk about. All the Charlotte trades. Bridges to the Suns. The other one. LaMelo.
Yeah. LaMelo.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
LaMelo to the Wolves. And then, I mean, did we even really touch on Giannis to the Heat? Or was that still a rumor?
No, we talked a lot about that one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, I want to get your take on freaking the Wolves. I mean, to me, and the Hornets. Like, what are the Hornets doing? Do you think their approach is going to work? And what are the Wolves doing? Think their approach is going to work?
We talked about this a little bit on whether or not, like, we were talking work ethics, and that LaMelo seems to be the kind of guy that doesn't really take hoop that seriously. And I was kind of saying Ant strikes me as a guy that does take hoop very seriously, and I think he'll have a good I think he'll be a good influence on LaMelo. I think Ant will. So I like it for them. I mean, basically, as currently constructed, the Timberwolves, I don't think we're going anywhere. So I like the move in terms of that. Now, for the Hornets, I don't really know what they're doing other than the fact that I think that they're just basically going to try to build their whole team around Con Kneppel. I mean, that's all I could see.
What's his handle like?
Say again?
What's his handle like?
Not great. He's more of a catch and shoot guy that was catching a lot of passes from LaMelo Ball, who's no longer there.
Well, but LaMelo was out for a while, and I do think he was running the show a little more than I would have ever expected. And I didn't watch it, but I feel like if I remember, his stats were such that made me wonder, is he a better ball handler? Because I think I have the same assumption as you, and I'm kind of wondering, are his ball handling skills better than you and I think, and are they really planning to just unleash it to him like that? And can he handle that? And if the answer is just simply yes, that's their plan, then they might be in okay shape. Because I do like Brandon Miller, I do like, but they also got rid of Bridges. So like they needed to get a little bigger with shooting. They got Kalkbrenner and I don't know how to say his name, but I joke and call him Diabetes, Diabate, but I don't know how you say his name. But they got Diabate, they got
Grayson Allen back in the Suns.
Well, yeah, so now they have Grayson Allen and Naz Reid for Bridges and LaMelo, and for just like on paper, those two players are kind of clearly better than the other two, Bridges and LaMelo, that is. But that doesn't mean that I don't even remember who else was included in the trades.
Yeah,
and I don't even remember who else was included in the trades and if it was that simple and all that. Because, I mean, what? So Josh Green, Charlotte Hornets exchanged for Naz Reid, an unprotected 23 first round, 3 second. Yeah, so, I mean, they also got hella picks. So Charlotte, like, it's not like that was close to one-on-one for LaMelo. They got a lot of picks.
Yeah.
So there's stuff there. Who did Charlotte? Maybe I need to know that. Man, I got my computer all messed up. I'm going to move to the side real quick. I want to know who Charlotte drafted. Who'd Charlotte draft?
This year?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Let's check that out. Because, I mean, I think all this, like, that's why all these conversations are so hard, because it's so much about freaking fit. So they got a forward center at pick 14 out of the University of Washington, 6'10", and they got a guard. I don't know how good each are.
Pick 18, yep. Texas Tech. All right, here we go, Art. Whether or not we're going to be going on for another hour or another 3 minutes. Shootout. Made the first one. Had to have it. Come on, Morocco. Choke. By the way, this is totally illegal. Thankfully, we're not famous enough to get sued. But if we were smacking and we had like, 20,000 views right now, the World Cup would be on our ass. They're not calling any of the stadiums that they're in their actual names.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're like, I think it's MetLife for the Giants and the Jets in New Jersey. I think it's MetLife, and they call it the New York, New Jersey Stadium. And they're like covering up all these things with pieces of paper.
Yeah, no, you can totally tell Levi's is still the sign though. It's got like the same shape.
Yeah, but like they covered it up, right? What?
Yeah, it's all covered with.
What they name that? The Santa Clara Stadium?
No idea.
Miss it, Morocco! Miss it, Morocco! Yeah! Off the crossbar! We're up 1-0, Art! We're up 1-0! All we have to do is not miss one and we win! Come on, boys! For the love of the Netherlands! It's funny as if my dad was still alive, he wouldn't give two shits. And he's the only reason why I care about this. Beautiful bar hit, Morocco. I hate that they played Morocco. By the way, this is a total bullshit draw for the Dutch. It's a 7 versus the 8, according to FIFA rankings. The only top 10 matchup in the round of 32 elimination. Here we go, Dutch. You just got to not choke now. He hit the bar. Choked. Absolute choke job.
Oh, shit. And they got Kobe White. I forgot. Didn't they sign Kobe White?
I thought he was still a free agent.
Or did he get traded to them last year? Or got traded to them last year from the Bulls? He's still a free agent?
I think he's a free agent. Just click on him.
Nah, because the news looks all bullshit. I keep getting old shit. But no, I'm pretty sure Kobe White signed. Kobe White contract.
Oh, here we go. Unbelievable choke job.
Yeah, no, he signed a deal with the Hornets. What, your boy Myth? Recently? Yeah, so he's there for 3 years, $75 million.
Shit.
I mean, if you want to put it that way,
stop. But it went in.
I'd much rather have Kobe White than freaking Porzingis. How about that? That'll talk about how bad a deal Porzingis is. Give me fucking Kobe White. Give me a real scorer. Give me someone that can shoot. Give me someone that can.
Just so you know, the Dutch goalie blocked it, but then like the momentum of the ball. Oh, he hit it with his foot. So it counted. Unbelievable. He picked the right spot. He blocked the shot, and it still went in. Unbelievable. Shootouts. What are your thoughts on shootouts, Art? You a fan?
No, not a fan. I think they're stupid, but I don't know what else they could do. I don't think they should play forever. Yeah, I guess they could play forever. I don't know.
I think they do.
Kind of like tennis. It's kind of like tennis. Are you a fan of... I can't remember which tournaments do what.
Oh, the deal, the tiebreakers.
Yeah, you can either do tiebreaker or you can just win by 2 games. And some tournaments they say you got to win by 2 games.
I like the one where it was a marathon between Nadal and nice one between Nadal and Federer, and they went to like when it was dark.
Yeah.
So I like it that way in that one, but tennis is a little wild. Yeah, I'm assuming those fools get hella tired.
I'm looking forward to watching Serena tomorrow at 9 a.m. Well, I can't watch. It sucks, actually. I got too much shit to do.
Maybe so am I.
I can watch Serena while I work. That's all good. I'm going to turn her on and do my work.
Yeah, tennis seems very much like a sport you could have on in the background.
Let's bet big money on Serena.
She's plus money. Yeah, plus 120.
Yeah, let's bet on her. You want to bet on her?
Yeah, yeah, I'll do it.
I don't know, though. I haven't bet in forever. I haven't bet in so long that I assume my next bet has to lose.
What a nice goal from Morocco. We're all tied. We're all tied after 3. Yeah, Serena, how do you think she's going to do? She didn't look great towards the end of her career, but she was trying to focus on being a mom. You think she's like revamped everything? She's on that weight loss drug. I see her on every commercial, dropped weight. You think she's like dialed in, ready to rock? I know she did some doubles before this, but
yeah, I mean, my guess is she's ready to rock. I mean, it's going to be hard. She's playing a 20-year-old. Isn't she 40?
Way over 40, I think.
I think she's like 42 or something. She's about to play a 20-year-old.
Even older than that.
So, yeah, I mean, she got a tall task, but that's Serena. That's the GOAT. That's an absolute beast. I think she's going to win. If I'm the 20-year-old, I want no part of her. I'll tell you that. I enjoy the opportunity, but I'm intimidated.
Oh, my God, he missed wide left.
Your boy?
How can you be that bad? The goalie guessed wrong, and he missed like 7 feet to the left. Dutch are going to lose, man. All right. Anyways, next topic.
What, are you down PKs right now or tied?
Yep. No,
you're down in the pattern?
Yeah. Anyways,
it was a hell of a ride for the black and orange.
No, it was not.
Looks like it was
not
like
black and orange.
2000 and what year was that when we lost?
Anyways, what do you
13, 15, 16?
We talked about everything but Jaylen Brown. What do you think's going to happen with Jaylen Brown?
The fuck's going on with Jaylen Brown? He's not signed?
Well, he was in the Giannis trade rumors. Brad Stevens had to come out and say,
"Oh, Jaylen Brown." Sorry, I was talking. When you said that, I was thinking Jalen Green. I was like, "What's he talking about?" Your boy.
No.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown. That's what I was saying. Get him to the Warriors, man. To do something. That's what the Warriors need. A young guy. He could carry the franchise into the future. You go get Jaylen Brown.
I agree.
UC Berkeley player. He's the type of guy that, frankly, he annoys me, but the Bay Area would probably embrace. They
would love him.
He's introspective. He likes to think about the way the world works. And he's a hell of a basketball player, and he's young. That's the type. I don't even love Jaylen Brown, but that's the type of move you might make.
But Artie.
Dingus and AD, you shitting me?
Artie, the Celtics aren't going to trade Jaylen Brown for Jimmy Butler and Pods.
Well, that's
not going to happen.
Man, you got to do something bigger. So how are we going to get AD?
Because the Wizards will do it for Jimmy Butler, probably because of what we were talking about earlier, where it's going to be an expiring contract. The Wizards are probably just trying to unload AD at this point, which I don't know. But why else
would want to max him? He's saying you have to sign a max or get rid of me, which is insane. Why does he?
Dutch just missed another one. Dutch missed three of their 5 penalty kicks. So
don't even be friendly.
All Morocco has to do is hit this. Anyways, go ahead.
Don't even be frustrated, man. That's pathetic. These guys, don't let yourself be too invested in a few missed penalty kicks. It's a heartbreaker. But what are you gonna do, man?
I mean, the thing that sucks so much about it is that unlike basketball or any other sport, it's only once every 4 years. Yeah, so I've got what?
You got Mexico tomorrow. You got the USA on Wednesday. You got the Aussies on Friday. We got so many horses in this race, Bill. Don't you worry.
Only you have those races. Only you have those races. All I got left is the USA, and we all know they're not beating France or.
How about our friendly neighbors up north? We got the Canadians. We got the Canadians fighting their hearts out. Don't you know? Don't you know? The Canadians up north.
You're rooting for Canada now, too?
Why not? Let's root for them.
I'm so sick to my stomach. All right. Anyways, I would love for the Warriors to get Jaylen Brown over all the guys that we talked about, but there's no way they're trading him. And the Warriors don't have anything that the Celtics would take back. They would have taken Antetokounmpo for him. They're not taking anybody on the Dubs for Jaylen Brown.
How come the Warriors haven't gotten any player that fits the profile we asked? Why haven't they gotten an athlete? Why haven't they gotten someone that can shoot? Why are those guys getting signed everywhere? That's why there's no reason to believe in this franchise. It's as if they don't see what they're missing.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here? But it's early, so let's pretend it's not. It don't matter. It's early. It's early.
Yeah.
It's early. So, yeah. What should we talk about? Giants?
A's? I mean, I would say Yaxel fits your billing in terms of being athletic and he can shoot. But I mean, but what do you want him to do? Just go find free agents? I mean, they don't have tons of cap room and they can't just find these guys off the street.
Yeah, fair. Well, maybe they shouldn't have got Jimmy Butler.
They're kind of, they're kind of strapped. The problem is, they won the only playoff series when Jimmy Butler and Steph both played. Anyways, we can talk Giants in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. My lady Susan Slusser was on with Larry Krugs talking about whether or not that whole thing was going to affect whether or not free agents wanted to go there. I don't really get the line of questioning there, but apparently her response was, well, only bigoted free agents. And then that caused a little bit of a stir, but it's all blown over now.
I don't know if it's blown over. I know that, I mean, I don't want to speak for Larry Kruger. He's a friend of the cast. And, so I don't want to speak for him. But I will say, the tweet he put out and then deleted and kind of kept the retweet up without his commentary on it suggested sort of that, Susan Slusser stepped out of line, and Susan Slusser suggested that Giants players were bigoted who did that. And I would say in today's culture, yeah, I guess she's not supposed to step out on a limb and say that. I also think most people, if they got sort of just their honest lens on their truth serum, I think you sort of do assume that a player who felt the need to write the Bible verse that has been associated with sort of right-wing conservative responses to pro
did they do the whole
rights.
Did they do the whole man shall not lie down with man and women shall not lie down with women or whatever? That's usually.
I don't know enough, honestly, about the Bible and the verses to be able to tell you that. I just know that what I've read about
it's usually
what's being used often by people who are against.
I believe it's man shall not lie down with man. Man shall not lie down with man. Women shall not lie down with women.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're just being honest, you would assume most people who feel the need to do that are probably prejudiced against people who are gay. And so I don't think that's even that shocking of a thing to say, but she didn't say that. So that's the problem here. She never set out and said that. She said that it might impact bigoted free agents if this whole ordeal that went down, they don't like.
Makes them not want to go to the Giants.
I think is pretty on point. If you're a freaking, person who is super anti-LGBTQ, if you are, I think there's a chance that might impact it. And I think just like Susan Slusser said, good riddance. I think we'd rather not have you if you're that against a group of people. So yeah, I think I'm not going to speak for the Hum Daddies, but I think we're for love for all, peace for all, and letting all people live. And so, anyway, so that did lead the headlines, and I'm curious if it comes back on Twitter. It was more like a little Twitter thing. I just saw it and then it disappeared. So I was like, I don't know what happened. He somehow knew that he might have stepped out of line. In the back of my head, I thought Susan Slusser might have hit him up and been like, why are you insinuating I said something I didn't even say? But yeah, that still continues to be a mess. I don't know if we talked about it on this podcast. I don't think we did. I think I just threw something up on Twitter, but I think Buster Posey showed his cards in a way that's disappointing. I think the fact that he didn't show up for that KMBR interview and that Kruger came on and had to say the company line, that makes me a little disappointed because it makes me think that Buster didn't even have it in him to say the company line. Like, damn, you couldn't even say the company line. So where's your head at? That was a little hard for me, disappointing for me. But yeah, hopefully they do right.
What do you mean by company line?
I mean, Kruger came on and said what you would say, that, we've been a ambassador of many things, and we are an ambassador of LGBTQ rights. We're one of two teams to wear the pride hat. We absolutely are dedicated to having an inclusive environment. So he said what you would expect Giants brass to say, but he did that in place of Posey, who last second didn't show up for a KMBR interview, and it was Larry Kruger instead. So first, Posey went out there and dodged questions and didn't answer. Then
he just said that it had been addressed in-house. Yeah.
So if you have that much of a problem just saying the company line, that was disappointing to me. And that's reading between the lines. I'm not necessarily fair for me to say, but similar to Slusser, it's not that hard to read between certain lines. So it seems like there's certain things happening. It's disappointing for the franchise. And the team continues to be sort of a laughing stock. Yeah, they've won 2 out of 3 series. They beat the A's because the A's suffer from a similar problem from the Giants, except I think they have much more exciting young offensive talent. The A's can't pitch for shit. So yeah, the Giants beat them. And then the Giants, who they beat 2 or 3, the Marlins or something.
Atlanta.
Who? Atlanta.
The last series, yeah.
So they've won 4 or 6. That's behind the pitching of Robbie Ray, behind the pitching of Logan Webb. There's something to
Robbie Ray's been crazy.
I mean, Webb too. Webb's been one of the best pitchers in baseball since coming back from the DL. Absolutely insane. He lost one of his games, had a complete game through 8 innings and a loss, and then he, shoved it for 7 innings, got a win. He backed it up. Yeah. So pitching's back. The same guys that are hitting. But they're still not that consistent hitting. I don't think that the Giants have given any reason for you to believe that they're going to ascend. I don't think they've given you any reason to believe you should start getting reinvested in this season. I am going out to the Giants game on Wednesday next week to catch the Toronto Blue Jays. That should be exciting. They got Vlad Jr. He's one of my favorite players in the league.
Who are you going with?
I'm going with my neighbors and the family. So I'm going with Harris, Shafika.
So you're going to the A's game on Friday and then the Giants game next Tuesday?
Next Wednesday. Yep. Taking the kids to both. Get them out to see the A's, get them out to see the Giants, enjoy some sunshine.
I hope LD comes back a green and yellow fan. I will say this, and we don't have to get too political about this, but the thing that I've never understood, the two sides of the coin is that religious people will say that you shouldn't push homosexuality on like a platform, right? And so they feel like it's okay for them to push their anti-homosexuality on the platform if you're doing that, right? Here's the problem, though. There's only one side of that, of people that are being not inclusive, right? So there's only one side that's saying you can't be that. The other side's not saying you can't be that. And that's where the whole argument kind of falls apart. There should never be what somebody's sexual preference is, making it so that it's against what you believe in, because there shouldn't be a belief in what somebody prefers. Like I've always said, and I mean, not to go too much in the weeds, and I don't want to put a foot in my mouth, but like, there's no way that somebody chooses to be gay. You're either attracted to a man or you're attracted to a woman, or maybe both. But there's no way that you choose that. Nobody's sitting there going, I'm inertly attracted to Jessica Alba, but I'm going to choose to be attracted to Brad Pitt. You're either attracted to Brad Pitt or you're attracted to Jessica Alba, or in some cases you're attracted to both. The point is, there's no choice there. That's what you're attracted to, which is why I've never understood. And there are, I think now, Art, there are way more churches that, I mean, I hate to say allow, but that include the LGBTQ community within their Christian church. I think that that's becoming more and more popular. But my whole thing is only one side's being divisive. Another one's being inclusive and the other one's being divisive. And that's where the whole argument kind of breaks down. But their argument will be, well, then don't put my things that are against my beliefs on a platform without allowing me to express my beliefs. But your method there breaks down because you're not being inclusive, because you are saying that these people can't exist the way that they are or whatever. And it's like, you know, I mean, as America, what? We've bombed Iran in some part at least, right? Because they stone homosexuals, or they, you know, they do crazy stuff out there, right? So how could we be all for doing that and trying to remove a regime that is so anti-gay, but then be anti-gay? And I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is just messy. And I think the whole thing with free agents is completely ridiculous. I don't think it would ever fall on the radar with any sort of player, even if they were a hardcore Christian. I don't think they'd look at it and go, well, because they didn't even get any. Was there any pushback on what they did? All Posey said was that they dealt with it in-house, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's pushback from people like me who doesn't really fuck with the players anymore, who thinks that they're kind of silly. Like, it's not real pushback, but you did put yourself out there. Like, I think that there's just some credence to what Susan Slusser said, in the sense of like, look, if you're in your heart of hearts, you got a hunch about what they believe once you do that, right? And yeah, you know, John, I see you in the chat. It's a Bible verse, say nothing, otherwise who cares? I hear you, and I hear that, but at the same time, we all know what it means. We act, and I find it hard to believe that all it really meant was I am I don't know enough about even religion to not sound like an idiot, but I'm a devout Catholic or I'm a devout Christian, and I'm going to do, like, it's so obvious that this is an anti-gay statement. It is an anti-gay stance. And that is pretty obvious, because otherwise you don't really care about having the hat on, because it doesn't really matter. And so to me, that's where I have a hard time with this. So yeah, there's no real fallout as a player, but I would see, if I do think that there's a portion of this country, and therefore a portion of players who might be like, nah, I don't want to sign there because the Giants are going to have me wear a pride hat. And if I don't want to, I'm going to get made to look a certain way. And I don't want to get made to look a certain way. And so, like, I don't think it's an outrageous sentiment by Susan Slusser. And I also don't think it's outrageous for a team not to want to sign someone if they are super bigoted, but I don't know that means that. Yeah, I do. I get it. It gets messy. Like maybe they're not, to your point, super bigoted, and they just wanted to share that. But it's tough because to me, kind of to the point you said, and then maybe we can move off. Unless you got something else you want to add, is man, it's just love and it's just inclusivity, and so to really want to we all know what's going on there, and so if you really want to push back against love and inclusivity and let people feel good, I mean that's all I'm at. Like I'm not talking about anybody doing anything. I'm talking about let people breathe. Let people do what they do because it got nothing to do with you. It's got literally nothing to do with you. So it's not even a big deal. And that just always drives me crazy. But Giants, man, if you're still believing the Giants are gonna if you still believe the Giants are going to make a run, you're kidding. We had B-Dav tell me there was a little start. He responded to my story on Twitter, said there's a little start that won 2 out of 3 series. I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he was just being a little bit fun, optimistic or not, but the Giants are not going to come out of this year. I think if Tony V can keep it about where it's at now, maybe play 2, 3, 4 games above 500 ball the rest of the way, that's all we can ask for.
You'd still be 10 games below 500.
They're not gonna get to 3 below. They're not gonna get. You think this team's got a realistic chance at 500 this year? If the Giants are 500 this year, Tony V will be heading into next year with as much momentum as he could possibly be heading into.
What a low bar.
There is no chance. It's not a low bar. At this point, that's a high bar.
81 and 81 is what you're looking for?
There's no chance this Giants team wins 81 games. Chat line, what are the percentage chances these Giants win 81 games this year? Me, 5%. And I put it lower. These Giants aren't winning 81 games. Not a chance.
If Chapman catches fire again, I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, but these guys aren't gonna do it. What's
Robbie Ray pitching? We're like 3 games below 500. Yeah. By the way, as an A's fan, boy, did I get the feeling of how annoying it is if you're a Giants fan playing against the Dodgers. Although you guys have played them well both times, but that whole this thing, the waving the arms back and forth after every hit. Oh my God! If I had to watch that, I mean, we only play them once a year. If I had to watch that all the time as a Giants fan, even though you guys have done well against them, that's the most annoying celebration shit ever. And it's the worst when Shohei does it. Anyways, we're getting our asses kicked by the Dodgers. I believe it is 9-3, and the Giants are trying to scrap. 2 outs, runner on. They're down 5-4 against Arizona. You guys have been getting whooped by Arizona, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways,
absolutely. Are the A's been losing a lot recently, right? They started struggling.
Yeah, but we're only 2.5 back in the West.
You guys there's something so different about the Giants and the A's. Just to me, and I wish I watched more A's. There's just an exciting vibe to me about that franchise, and it sucks that they're moving because I just feel like their offense.
Oh, it's great.
I believe in everybody in that lineup, and and the Giants lineup on paper, like some of it looks almost as good. And you and I heard, I think I heard Eric Burns and Will Clark talking about who would you take, and they both chose the right one. But they were talking about who would you take, Kurtz or Eldridge right now, and I think the obvious answer is Kurtz. And they said it for the same reason. One guy's done it for 1.5 years, the other guy's done it for a month. So one guy you can kind of trust to keep it going, whereas Eldridge, we got to see it. But Eldridge has been so freaking fun to watch. It's so good to watch a good player. He's cooled down a little bit recently. But yeah, I mean, that Kurtz, that Langeliers has really cooled down for you, the catcher. But Cortez, freaking
Eldridge went 2 for 4, raised his average to 285. But yeah, Kurtz is an absolute beast.
Absolute beast. You just
pitching.
I mean, we're talking.
Pitching is so bad. I said that in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough going.
Yeah, we trotted out a guy named Cage Jump today. Gage Jump. Sorry.
Well, he's good actually. He's one of your best pitchers. He's the young lefty. He's been pitching well.
Yeah.
Who's that kid that just got Tommy John? He was like your number 1 prospect.
Yeah, no, I sent that to the thread. The Asian stud.
Yeah, he just that was terrible for them. But the A's always got a farm system that's well kept, and their lineup is just semi-solid 1 through 9. I mean, I know you could pick holes in it pretty easily. There's dudes I never even really heard of that are all of a sudden killing it too. What's that guy like Bolt or something?
Oh yeah. Yep.
What's his deal? Where did he come from? I feel like he showed up out of nowhere. Have I just not been following and he's been there?
No. No. You're not totally off. He came up like I don't know, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, so he's out of nowhere. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, not really out of nowhere. He was one of our top prospects.
Oh shit! Guess where he was born?
Where?
San Francisco.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Gotta love it.
Henry Bolt. Yeah, you're 2.5 back. The A's are in a dogfight. I mean, that's the team that we need to start following. Why don't we start spending more time talking A's, man? We could touch on the Giants, but if the Giants are going to just suck, and if the Giants can't bounce, we need to follow this A's season closely.
I'm with you.
I mean, we got something to actually talk about. What's there to talk about? But it just gets tiring. The Giants also, it's like, you're in trouble when you're talking about fucking the hats and the media and not actual the team, because the team's no good. And so we got to find a team that's it's not like the A's are doing so great, but a few games below 500.
Oh yeah, no, it's a much more exciting follow. The problem is the majority of like the Hum Daddies following, and to be honest, the majority of the Bay Area, and especially so when you're losing guys like Joey Starkey and my brother and other people that loved the A's once they moved. It just doesn't move the needle. People don't really, but I mean, yeah, if we could swap rosters, that would be great. I mean, I'd be not a Giants fan.
Just freaking scenarios. If we could just freaking have the
yeah.
I mean, rosters too. I agree.
Yeah. Bolts played about half the games, but he was one of our top prospects, so he didn't completely come up out of nowhere. It's funny because Max Muncy, one of our studs, is playing against the Dodgers, and he hit a ground ball, and Max Muncy for the Dodgers was playing third, and he went to go dive to get it, and it hit the bag, and Muncy ended up getting a base knock. But yeah, I mean, Soderstrom, Kurtz, Langoliers, McNeil, I didn't totally get that deal with the Mets, but I guess they wanted like a veteran presence in there. Jacob Wilson hasn't played as many games as you would hope. He was banged up a little bit earlier on. I don't understand why we don't trot out Carlos Cortez all the time. He's one of my favorite players. He's only gotten about half the at-bats, in my opinion, than he should have. But yeah, I mean, it's an exciting team, especially offensively. But yeah, the pitching, I said this before the season started, Art, that the pitching was going to be dog ass. And that's exactly what it's been.
Yeah.
So anyways. All right. What, do I have anything else on this rundown? World Cup so far. Serena playing tomorrow. We hit that. Talk some Giants. Talk some A's. Oh, this could be your chance to shine on some women's sports segment. Art, the ultimate feminist. What do you got for us? I saw somebody balled out for our Valkyries.
I've missed a lot of Valkyries games, but I think we won a couple in a row. I mean, Gabby Williams often balls out. I haven't been following that closely the last week or so. I was thinking we might touch on the old San Jose Sharks.
Valkyries are 7-3 in their last 10. Yeah, 2.5.
They had lost a few in a row, and then they won a couple recently, right? Like they won 2 or 3 in a row.
They've won 3 in a row, yeah.
Yeah, after losing, I want to say 2 or 3 or maybe 3 in a row.
Yeah, I need you and Lila to be watching every game.
Yeah, I've been missing. I think they were up with some conflicts on some other games, maybe some other stuff was going on.
Yeah,
I did watch a beat. That was a while ago now, though, when they beat Paige Bucher and co. But that was like before the losing streak, I want to say.
Did you see all the drama about Caitlin Clark? And Boomer Esiason went viral because he said it's because she's white and straight, and most of the players in the WNBA are black and lesbian. And anyways, there was like this whole thing. One of the girls got suspended for a game because she like stuck her fist in her throat or something, and it didn't even get called for a foul. Anyways, there's so much drama surrounding Caitlin Clark. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So John's out here talking Let's Talk Sharks too, and I think this cast is going to have to continue to grow its Sharks knowledge, because I gave you my dark cloud that I'm sort of picturing for the Warriors, right? Like I don't have an optimistic outlook for the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I frankly don't have a very optimistic outlook for the Giants either, and I could really see it where the Valkyries start coming up because if they play well, although they're really mid, like they are part of the reason they're fun to root for is they don't have a superstore. They're all like sixth men that came from other teams that are now starting on the Warriors. And so they're like a fun
Warriors
on the Valkyries. So
no, they might as well be. What's hilarious is if we go to because the Niners, their bubble's bursting soon. I mean, if they don't win it this year, that team's just getting older. Anyways, it'd be hilarious if we went from like a Niners, Warriors, Giants podcast to Sharks, Valkyries, and A's.
I'm telling you, man, my buddy who I coached my daughter's softball team with, he played ice hockey his whole life. And he's a diehard Sharks fan over any other sport. And he's so funny. He's always like the yin to my yang. And he's also hella funny. And I learned it over time that like whenever he was messing with me, it's because he didn't know the answer. I'd be like, hey man, and I would only rarely like ask for like an opinion. And it's funny. I just thought he was just like giving me a hard time almost. But then I realized, he just wasn't sure. Because when he's sure, he will give his opinion. He'd be like, that's what you get paid the big bucks, man. He's like, you got to just figure out your hunch. You got to go with your gut. What do you think? Who's going to get it done? Anyway, he'd always take this funny laid-back approach. And in that same voice the other day, we're at a birthday party for our daughters. And he's like, man, we were talking about the draft. He's like, this is the time to jump on. He's like, you can jump on right now. You're not on the bandwagon.
Sharks?
Yeah, he said, we didn't make the playoffs. You got to come right now. Just start from the beginning of next year. Everyone's going to welcome you. But don't wait too long because it's coming. So I'm thinking, I've been enjoying the World Cup so much. I'm enjoying softball. I'm enjoying Valkyries. There's no way I won't enjoy hockey, I'm guessing, if I start putting my time in. I mean, I agree. The earthquakes. Let's start watching the San Jose Quakes, baby. So, I mean, the MLS doesn't really do it for me. I was thinking about watching more EuroLeague soccer, but now I'm thinking that if the Sharks, anybody, John Joseph, anybody else who knows enough about the Sharks, tell me. My understanding is they got one of the best up-and-coming players in the world in Macklin Celebrini. They got one of the best two players in the draft you could have asked for, and people see him this second pick as a young phenom. And then my understanding is
Ivar Stenberg. Ivar Stenberg is supposed to be a stud. Looked the part. I'll tell you that. We had 3 first-round picks.
Where is he coming from, like a pro team in Sweden or something? He's coming from already playing pro ball overseas.
The second guy.
Yeah, the second pick overall. The guy we picked. The guy that San Jose Sharks picked is coming from overseas. He's already a pro. He's supposed to be. And then they also got apparently 2 just really good potential big defensive players.
Keaton Verhoff, who played for North Dakota. I watched the whole draft. By the way, they could not have bombed it anymore. I mean, they're trying to do their best to be the NFL and the NBA. What's funny is no one ever talks about the MLB draft. Do they even air the MLB draft? Anyways, they're doing their best to be the NBA and the NFL, and I understand it. But if you want, I don't know if you saw anything on like just clips from the internet, even if you didn't watch the draft, but they had Justin Bieber come out to announce the first pick, which first of all, the draft was in Buffalo. They hate the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then Justin Bieber didn't even know what he was doing. They probably didn't have like a dress rehearsal or whatever. So he didn't even know when to come up. Or he didn't even know the guy's name. So he said, can I just refer to him as Mr. whatever his name was? Anyways, they botched the draft completely. But yeah, we got a couple of studs. And let's not get it twisted. We missed the offs, but barely.
Yeah, I know. They were ascending and they were playing well. And now they got a couple big boys too. They got a couple big defenders. And I hear this is what I'm saying. This is what I hear is exactly what they need. I didn't watch enough, but my understanding is they address needs, and they got a super talented attacker that's supposed to be potentially an absolute dynamic duo with Macklin. So I'm going to watch them when the season starts. I'm going to get my popcorn ready, and I'm going to be seeing if these Sharks can grab my interest, because that would be pretty fun.
Stenberg and Verhoff.
Let's go to a game. Me, you, and Jake. Let's go to a game.
I'd be hella down, and it's not terribly expensive. It's not like nuts like most stuff. But yeah, they also drafted the
7-footer, didn't they? You have like a 7-footer?
Yeah. Alexander Karmanov out of Moldova at 7'1". He's the tallest drafted player in the history of the NFL. I mean, in the NHL. If he plays a single NHL game, he will become the league's tallest ever player, surpassing 6'9".
So why are people high on him? Because I've heard everybody was so high on both drafts.
They picked him in the 7th round. No, they're high. They're high on our first 2 picks.
Defenseman. He's not the second defenseman everyone's happy about. Oh, so there's how many rounds are there in the NHL draft?
Well, apparently at least 7. I don't know how much further it goes than that. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched like the first 2 rounds.
201st pick. Good, because I got scared for a second here. I was looking at that. I was looking at an article. I said, well, that guy's going to be a bust. So this third guy that everyone's happy about. No, because I think we had like 3 picks in the first round, or maybe early in the second round. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently we got 2 students and they're big. So everybody's happy that the Sharks got size. They got a couple.
Well, the defenseman they're juiced off is Keaton Verhoff. And then, the second, a lot of people thought that Stenberg was going to go first, but he ended up going second. So it was one of those things where people will probably look back and compare about, who was better between, Greg Oden and Kevin Durant type of thing,
Yeah. The boys in the chat are saying we got to get this Sharks going. They say nobody covers the Sharks well enough and that we should cover
the Sharks. Let's do it.
I ain't mad at all. And I know Jake freaking loves the Sharks. So Jake's been on the sort of ascent as a fan. He wants to do this, would be my guess. And so I think we should definitely try to up our games. Watch.
I'll tell you this, Dom. You have my promise. I will be locked in way more than usual because my Suns suck. We'll see what happens with the Dubs. That's the only problem with hockey is that, but I got 2 TVs, so I'm fine. I'll have the Sharks game on one TV and I'll have the Suns game on the other. I'll step my knowledge game up, read some more articles. We're gonna be your Sharks insiders. Go to a few games, put it out on social media.
I was a hell of an ice skater in my day. I'll let you know that.
Say again?
I said I was a hell of a skater in my day. I'd get out there at what was that place called in Berkeley? Iceland? Woo! Shred it out there.
Yeah.
Your boy would get out there, young Art.
I've never been able to ice skate.
Oh, my dad took me there, and I remember, my daddy's a pretty positive person, and he'll really get you feeling yourself. But at a young age, this guy had me thinking I might be one of the best young little skate. Guy said, you look so good out there, quick on your feet, nimble. He's going to prop me up. But I always had a little bit of, light feet for a big guy.
Yeah,
I kind of wish every once in a while I played some hockey. Pete would be telling me about his hockey days. I said, that would be fun, man. Just go fucking lay some hat on the ice. Man, they were letting you just blow people up in that sport.
Well, you were a rugby guy.
Yeah, but man, I wish we would have. That would have been, man. Our friends would have been hella funny. Imagine our friends playing hockey and like lacrosse and shit like that.
So I went to the first outside game. I don't know if it was
the first hockey one. Game? That looked hella cool.
Yeah, at Levi's. Outside was dope as bleep. And then I was at 95.7 when the Sharks made the final. By the way, never call it the finals, Art. It's the final in the NHL. Hockey people will destroy you for that. Anyways, I think they got swept by the Penguins, Crosby and co. Anyways, I did some interviewing after the game. No locker room in any sport smells worse than a hockey locker room because all their pads and shit and like with the ice and the cold, it's all trapped in there. Smells so bad. I was with Rick Tittle and he told me, he's like, bro, it's going to be the worst thing you've ever smelled. And I'm like, I've been in locker rooms before. He's like, not if you haven't been in a hockey locker room. That was the worst smelling shit I've ever smelled, Art.
Yeah, well, I don't. You can be our insider, all right?
Yeah.
You and Jake can go interview Macklin someday, and I'll just stay outside.
They probably would give us a media pass. All right, you got anything else in the media world? Mike and Mike is back, but not the Mike and Mike that you think. Greenberg. Some people call him a snake and say that they stabbed Golick in the back when he broke up Mike and Mike because they had been going for more than 20 years. So then he was doing it with his son and I think Trey Wingo. Anyways, they both left ESPN and were doing their own thing. Now they're coming back to the middays and they're going to call it the Golicks. I thought it would be funny because his son is Mike Golick Jr. I would have just called it Mike and Mike 2.0 because it's still Mike and Mike. It's 2 mics cutting it up. Anyways, they're back to ESPN National Radio, I think from like 10 to noon.
So it's Mike Golick and his son, and they've been doing it. And then they went off and did their own things, and now they're back.
They were working for DraftKings Network, and then ESPN hired them back. And it was almost kind of like Golick has always been very classy. Greenberg clearly wanted to do like his own thing, like his own TV thing. He wanted to like spread his wings or whatever, which is fine. But he totally left Golick in the dust. And then Golick and his son did it for a little bit, but then ESPN Radio fired him. Then they went to DraftKings Network, did their own show there, and then ESPN tucked their tail and now hired him back for the midday show, which I think is great for them. Anyways, that's just a little media news. I'm sure you know Mike and Mike, right? The original two.
Yeah, of course.
The big fella and then the skinny dude.
And
So
Greeny?
Greeny's doing Greeny's doing TV now, but Golick got kind of left by the wayside. But now he's back and better than ever with his son. I love it.
I always laugh when we see Fortenbaugh on TV. It makes me chuckle a little bit when he's on TV.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that. I can tell you stuff off the air. I cannot say anything while we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, I could probably.
But good for him.
I know it's not common to end your show on a somber note, but I would sort of feel remiss if we didn't just highlight that my day started off super sad when I heard that Chris Johnson news.
Oh, yeah. Why do you want to end here?
Well, because it just feels like I feel like it's missing because, man, it just reminded me and y'all might laugh at me on the text line. I got passionate opinions and you might not agree with everything I say. But there's one thing I know is that I care about people. I love people. So that's where most of my views come from. I believe everyone should be left to be happy. And then I love life. I think you hear some people say they could be ready to go. They say, but I love that my body works. I actually get frustrated that my body doesn't work as well as it used to. And I really love life and I love every day. And it just reminded me shit can change so quick. And there's so many ways you get reminded this. We've had friends pass away. We've had, we've talked about these on the airwaves, but something about, and there's so much shit that happens all the time, but something about seeing Chris Johnson he's 39 years old and to just have his hand bothering him one day to that quick, man, we just got to hold on to what we got and live every day like it's our last and enjoy it, man. Cause we got to keep on keeping on and have fun when we're on this show. On the chat line, whatever you're doing tomorrow, enjoy it, embrace it, attack it, love it, because, man, he's talking with his freaking eyes now. I don't even get it. I don't even get it.
No.
ALS could happen that fast. I thought that was more degenerative over time.
ALS is one of those bleeped up. I mean, I guess I'm happy that you brought it up because, number one, that is a good message. Appreciate and, try not to be in a bad mood just because – you're not having the best day because you could be having a much worse day. So if things are just status quo, but the day's not going great, still be appreciative that you have all your functioning body parts and whatever. I just know ALS is really messed up in that sense where you can just wake up with that. He said there was some signs, but he didn't think it was anything. He thought it was probably football related. But that's one of those Parkinson's, ALS. Those are one of those ones that are like really messed up. He's not talking with his eye. I mean, he kind of is. He's creating his answers, I believe, with his hand, and he's looking at a screen to like give his responses. He did an interview with Michael Strahan on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what he's doing.
Good Morning America.
Using his eyes is he's looking at a cursor who's pressing the button.
Yeah.
And what's pretty crazy is I believe they have artificial intelligence has captured his voice. I don't know his voice. I was guessing. I was making a random guess, so I'm curious if it's true. But I thought they might have his voice coming out of that machine. Like,
I thought about that too. I thought maybe, or they found somebody that sounds like him, or maybe he recorded every.
That's what he sounded like, but
yeah,
I thought that sounded like him.
Yeah, but from he got the nickname CJ2K when we were kids because he ran for 2,000 yards, and 39 years old. I mean, you would think it would be something related to concussions or, something related to the brain or whatever. But I'm pretty sure this was just pretty random because he had a very successful career, didn't waste his money, had a wife and kids, and he was living a normal life. He was like running errands, taking his kids to school and sports.
And he was in hella good shape. He just couldn't, from what I understand, he just couldn't believe it. From one day to the next to, it's just.
Well, I was just going to say two good reasons why you brought it up, and we can try to end it on the best note possible. But number one, Strahan asked him why he decided to come out and talk about it, and he said, number one, I want other people that are dealing with this to know that they're not alone, and number two, if this helps anybody to get checked, I didn't even know that you could go, like when I go to the hospital, I get a physical and they do my blood work and stuff, but can you get a specific test for ALS? But he was saying basically, if you can find out, the earlier the better, because, I guess he found out a little bit too late. And yeah, I also didn't know that ALS moved that quickly. He got diagnosed in 2024.
Did it 24
or 20? Anyway, yeah, no, maybe it was 25, but
right, whatever it was.
To already be to the point where you have to use your eyes for an interview and you can't talk. I didn't even realize it moved that quickly.
Me neither. So,
anyways. All right.
Well, yeah. So yeah, let's enjoy life. Let's get out there.
Well, you enjoy life, bud. I may or may not be joining you on Friday as you go take in. Who are the A's playing? Like don't tell me.
Your Miami Marlins.
Marlins A's, and then you'll be Wednesday. You'll be at the San Francisco ballpark. I like that. Is it going to be the first time for both kids?
It is going to be the first time that's meaningful for them. Lila, when she was probably I think Levi was an infant and Lila was super young, or Lila was even younger.
Does LD have any interest in baseball?
Yeah, we were watching today. We were watching the Rangers versus the Guardians, and Levi really wanted me to have a rooting interest, and I told him I really don't have a rooting interest, but if I'm forced to, I will root for
Will Clark. Yeah, Will Clark was on the Rangers.
Yeah, I went Rangers,
and you beat him in the World Series, so you can't hate him.
Yeah, no, I went Rangers. I don't got and do they still have Boch, or is Boch gone?
Boch got canned. Boch is with the Giants in some capacity.
Oh, yeah. I'm tripping. That's hilarious. Did he get canned? He didn't quit?
Yeah, really? First of all, he won them a World Series. The first World Series they've ever won. And then the next time I looked up, he was gone. I think it was either the year after or like a year and a half after he won the World Series. They canned his ass. I don't know if they changed GMs, but I remember being shocked. I'm like, you guys... That guy should have a lifetime contract. You guys never won a title. You guys were nothing before he got there. He got there and then won you a title and you canned his ass. Anyway.
Yeah.
It is.
That's crazy. Anyway, I just want to respond to you, John, because that's crazy. He said of his childhood crew of 30, he's only got 2 left.
Wow.
So that's insane. I don't know if you were in that deep shit when you were young and doing dirt, and if it was caught to the game or what it was, but whatever it was, that's intense, and that is awful. And I bet you maybe you've come a little numb to it, or maybe not. I don't know, because I heard who did I hear talking about death? It was some random person, and he talked about how you become numb to it when after your mama dies. It was a guy. We were talking about once your mama dies. When other people die, you start becoming numb to it. And I could imagine that being true to me, because I feel like I lost my dad. That was hard. Lost a friend that I hadn't been talking to a lot. That was hard. And then I lost a friend who I've been talking to constantly for, just often. And so that was a different type of death where you're talking to somebody and you lose them. And so then once you get your mom, that'll be like the quadruple, and then that will be pretty effed. And then I have a hard time believing that other deaths will feel as impactful other than your best friends, maybe your brother, a couple other people, but probably will start to feel a little numb because all of a sudden people are just dropping, man. So, yeah, fuck, it's just crazy. Anyway, we ended on that low note. How do we end on a high note? Because people are dropping like flies, but we don't want to drop like flies. We got to get motherfucking... Yeah, no, there ain't no way to really turn this up.
Let's see. Hang on.
Dutch lost. The Warriors are in shambles. Man.
A's lost. Giants lost. Dutch lost. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a fun story. Usually go to okay, Ja Morant. Oh no, Lions released Terrion Arnold after his arrest for
how much happy these days?
Kidnapping. Let's see. Come on. One funny story. I guess we could just end on this. Jameis Winston is going to be working in the media forever. That guy is a pleasure to watch. He's a little bit of a clown show, but he makes me smile every time I see him.
The Giants are 0-7 against Arizona.
It's amazing.
So that's a yin to your happy yang. 0-7 against the freaking Arizona Diamondbacks. I mean, we can barely name a Diamondbacks player now. What they got? Kettle Marte.
He's a stud. He's on my fantasy team. Probably the only reason why. Probably the only reason why I know it.
Right? They got Padermo. Yeah, I'm blanking. Anybody else good on that roster? Corbin Carroll. They got some studs. A few good players. But
yeah, I mean Carroll, Marte, Perdomo, Vargas. Oh, they still whatchamacallit's old ass from the Cardinals. The third baseman.
Arenado, do they? I thought
Arenado.
Isn't he on the Rockies or some shit? Is he on the Diamondbacks?
He wouldn't. No, he signed with the. Yeah, he's on the Diamondbacks. He played with the. He started with the Rockies, and then he went to St. Louis, and then he fell off. But he's having kind of a. He's having a little bit of a resurgence. Yeah. He's still pretty garbed, but yeah.
Have I not watched one fucking Arizona game? He's on Arizona.
I haven't either. This is all fantasy that I'm pulling all this out of my ass.
Yeah, I didn't remember he was on Arizona.
Lawlar's good. Jordan Lawlar's good. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I could name a starting pitcher.
They still got Zach Gallen or whatever, however the hell you say his name.
Oh yeah, Zach Gallen. Yeah, he's dope. That's a good one. I think Ryan Nelson.
Is it the Ryan Nelson that's really Ryan? You know that guy? There's some guy named Ryan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who names their kid Ryan? The Ryan of a fruit.
I was gonna say, like, isn't Ryan something dogs chew on or some shit? But you're right, it's the Ryan of a fruit.
Yeah, I believe so. Anyways, random way to end heat check. Jake never popped in, huh? Guy said I might be a little bit late.
Well, 9:30. He's been in the chat very little bit. And my chat, man, you know, for all the Riverside pros and the joke about talking shit about Riverside, my chat since Riverside has updated its platform has been completely broken, where every time somebody adds a new chat, if I want to look at it, I have to press that I want to see the new message. And then when I do, it starts glitching and my whole screen's going back and forth. So it's really driving me crazy. So I might need to put in damn near a ticket to them or asking, when you go to the chat, does your thing glitch at all? Or are you looking at the chat right now?
Yeah. Everything's dialed.
Maybe I got to freaking load my software or something like that.
Yeah.
The side studio.
Right on, Dob P. Take your ass to bed. We appreciate you staying up late with us all the time. All right, Arturo.
Everybody needs to go to bed. We need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. Fact. Everybody out there on the chat line, man, we appreciate
Take all this orange shit off because my Dutch let the whole country down once again.
Man, and now that we're about to sign off, I got to tell you, we absolutely do need that banger. We need to get Mongo Fool, our boy Julian's banger, and have an outro, because I would love to be able to click that button, take off a hat, take off a shirt, and let it ride out. And I think everybody in the audience would enjoy the banger too. So I think we got to do it. I think it seems like put it on the old list.
I'll get on it.
Well, it's not you. It's
no, but I'll do it. It's not hard. I'll just have him send it to me, and then I can just upload it into the media here.
Well, no. I think we're talking about maybe doing a little something with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, gotcha. Well, that part I might not be able to do.
I was joking about maybe putting some video of us on it, which would be hella funny. It's like turkey bowl footage of us. Like, you know, like if we got any random hoop footage from Smitty, it would be pretty funny to have just random us clips as if we're athletes out here on the outro.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Love you so much.
Love you too.
I'll let you know about Friday, although I don't really have to decide until Friday.
For sure.
All right.
Cheers.
Holla.
Peace.